Hi, I'm Rosh from Energy Matters. Welcome to our podcast, Road to Zero, where we dive headfirst into all things renewable. Join us as we chat with industry experts, tech specialists, and some of your favorite TV and radio personalities, asking the renewable energy questions that you want answers to. Our goal, a zero carbon future. In this episode, we're delighted to be catching up with Daniel Lanzetta, CEO of Smart Energy Answers, and one of the many superstar partners that we featured on Renovate or Rebuild. Hello, Daniel. How are you?
Hi, Rosh. Hi, guys. Thank you for having me today. I'm very well. How are you going?
I am very well, thank you. Absolutely delighted to have you here today, mate. There's lots of questions I've been waiting to ask you.
My pleasure, Rosh, as usual. My pleasure.
No, you're a very good man, Daniel. Well, look, obviously we had you on Renovate or Rebuild, and which was brilliant, one of the episodes in Sydney. And we'll ask you a few more questions about that specifically a little bit later on. But I think one of the most pertinent things I want to ask you straight away is obviously COVID-19. You know, we're all trying to forget it. It's still with us. And we've all, we've had to take on over the last 18 months and move forward. But how's life for you guys post-lockdown?
Oh, look, it's been a very challenging time for any business, and probably the most difficult time to run a business these days. We're very lucky, very lucky in our industry. We were able to keep going for a while until the halt of construction, and then Victoria has been very challenging, more than any other state, as we're a national company. So Victoria's been the most affected over the last 18 months. And New South Wales this year has been also very challenging because of the halt of construction. But since September, we've been going at full steam again, and we're looking forward to 2022 full of installations and running again a profitable business in a profitable industry to strive for success.
Mate, fantastic. And look, obviously, Smart Energy Answers is a solar power retailer that has a lot. You've first and foremost installed a lot of customers. You've got a great reputation, Sydney-based, but have installed around the country. I mean, how long's Smart Energy Answers actually been around for now? How long's it been in operation for?
Rosh, it's been nearly 5 years now. So it's quite a long time now that we've been around, and we started from New South Wales, from Sydney, as our head office, and then we developed the business throughout Victoria, ACT, and South Australia.
All right, fantastic. And look, this is your opportunity, Daniel, just to give anyone that's watching or listening to this podcast today, a bit of an intro to Smart Energy Answers. I mean, what do you want your customers to know, or potential customers to know about you? What three things would you say differentiates Smart Energy Answers from your competitors?
Look, the most important thing, Rosh, is in our organization, there is what we call a perfect synergy between the installations, that's the core of the business, and the sales side of the business. Okay, so as we know, in this industry, there are a lot of companies that just sell systems, and they don't even know what they're selling with their salespeople, and then ultimately they subcontract these installations to other electricians. We have our own teams in-house. We have different divisions with a team of installers, electricians, roofers, designers, engineers, support team, and then ultimately we have our sales consultants, energy solutions consultants. And our approach to customers, it is what I feel differentiates us from most businesses, is we actually try to find the right solution for each customer. We don't really try to sell everything to everyone. It's really customer focused and trying to find the right solution with the different products that can be a specific panel, a battery, and a smart home appliances that make that solution unique and tailored to each individual customer.
No, which is absolutely fantastic. And I mean, from my own experiences working in retail, every single home and every single circumstance is so unique. And I think one of the biggest frustrations a consumer has is when they fundamentally get offered the exact same solution, the same product, by almost every single person they request a quote from. So I think what makes you guys fairly unique is, you were one of the first retailers that we came across offering battery solutions to customers. And I think even yourself, you drive a Tesla.
Yes, look, we've been quite early adopters with batteries, specifically with Tesla Powerwalls. And since the first Tesla Powerwalls, we then adopted different types of batteries and really tried to be at the forefront of the industry with innovative technologies. And these days, we developed some very strong partnerships with technology partners to have unique propositions to customers that incorporate virtual power plant VPP solutions and in some cases energy plans altogether. So it's fairly simple to explain it to customers and makes it easy to have one energy solution provider that looks after the fully supply chain, from the panels to the energy plan and the batteries. And
then soon electric vehicles.
Absolutely. One of the I've been an early adopter with Tesla, but as part of our smart home appliances, we also install SolarEdge EV rated inverters. So for any customer who has an electric vehicle or is interested in an electric car, they can prepare, or we install a solar system with a SolarEdge solution, and they can charge the car straight from their solar production. In that way, there's no waste of energy, and it's really a green solution that goes from the roof to the car.
That's fantastic, mate. Look, I know firsthand. Like a lot of our sort of readers who read our blogs are certainly responding to us saying, asking questions about EVs. And I think fundamentally, everyone wants to know that if they are to install solar power today, they want to have enough panels in their roof to generate enough electricity that could essentially replace what they're buying from the grid. But then the fundamental question that comes up next is, well, I want to get a battery, and do I need a battery? So what do you think about battery technology? Do you believe, I know it's a loaded question because the answer is going to be yes, but do you generally believe that a battery is in everyone's best interest today?
Absolutely, Rosh. I personally installed a battery early this year as well, together with my solar system that was installed back in 2014. And I think the market is now mature enough to justify the adoption of batteries on a large scale. And it makes financial sense, especially with feed-in tariffs going down in value. And we're seeing them reducing from 20 cents sometime 1.5 years ago to now 5 to 7 cents in most states.
Yes.
It makes much more sense to generate your energy, store it, and then use it at the time that you most need it, which is nighttime.
Yeah.
And we've seen paybacks reducing from 8 to 10 years to 5 to 6 years these days when we combine solar and what we call smart batteries, which are batteries VPP enabled that are able to support the network and leverage extra credits.
Okay, is that when the grid's in demand, when the cost of electricity goes through the roof?
Correct. So there is a lot of times throughout the year, especially in summer, where the demand spikes, and then in that case, whoever has a battery installed can contribute to discharge the loads to the network. And the energy retailers and the distributors will reward quite highly this sort of energy that comes from distributed assets, and that's the reason why early adopters with virtual power plant solutions can actually earn extra credits and make it very financially viable for households.
Mate, that's absolutely fantastic. Look, I've got plenty of other questions to ask you about zero carbon, but before I move on to that one, I'm just going to quickly show a clip from the TV show Renovate or Rebuild. One of the behind-the-scenes clips features yourself, Daniel, being interviewed by Andy and Deb. It's quite entertaining. Let me just check this on right now so that everyone can have a listen or have a look.
Some solutions to pool heating. I'd love to jump in a pool that doesn't sort of shrink my entire body down to a 11-year-old size.
Yeah, so
Look, a lot of people come to us because they want to reduce the electricity cost, and sometimes they don't even know where actually they can reduce the cost or optimize the current situation.
Well, pool's a big one. It's a big one
Pool,
for us.
If you are running it properly and want to have a clean pool, you need to run the filters at least 8 hours a day. And most people then don't use it because the water is too cold. So as Smart Energy Answers, we have what we call smart pool heating that integrates with solar.
Wow.
And what it does, it will synchronize with your solar production and make sure that the pool is heated when you have excess solar energy coming from your solar panels on the roof, and in that way you don't have to pay for your heating costs.
There you go, mate. Look at you. Look, you're a TV star in the making.
Thanks, Russia. It was quite interesting, especially with Andy. He's quite a character, right?
He's a cracker.
Very fun moment. So. It's pool heating is something big that it's a part of the smart home technology that we offer to our customers. And when I was talking earlier about customizing the solutions, a lot of people come to us for solar. They don't know they can actually do much more with their household, and we direct them in the right way.
That's absolutely fantastic. And look, being on Renovate and Rebuild, I mean, obviously you started in that particular episode. You helped out in episode 8 as well, which is when we helped out a family that had been ravaged by the bushfires, which we'll play in a little while, a clip from that one too. But what did you think of the show? Did you enjoy being on it?
Oh, I really loved it, Rush. It was quite a nice format, and I love the fact that there was no winner but a sore loser at the end, which was quite interesting, and there was a punishment for them. But overall, I think the show brought a lot of awareness to the public about the importance of green buildings these days. And when you are thinking of a new home or renovating, it is fundamental these days to take that into account. Because we not just for the savings, but we all have to play our own small part in the bigger picture. And the reality is, there are big targets ahead of us to make sure that we still have a place to live in after 2050, and we all have to be committed to reduce carbon emissions.
Oh, completely. And it really is a game that everybody needs to play. I mean, it's so, a lot of the feedback we see and conversations we see online and whatnot through different through different forums, it's almost a lot of people still put it in the too hard basket. But what they don't realize is every single individual can make a difference, no matter how small. It can be as simple as recycling. It's just anything that can be done to reduce your carbon impact, your carbon footprint will make a profound difference on the planet on the whole. So it really is a team sport.
Absolutely. And look, the show was, we love to participate because it actually was in line with our company missions. Our mission is to empower families, companies, and communities with free green energy from the sun, and at the same time offer a delightful customer experience. So that was in line with it, and especially the project in the Blue Mountains where we installed a 3.3 kilowatt system with battery, and we really enjoyed participating there. And in our small, part, we played our small part, and the owners were so grateful. That was the best thing when the owners actually thanked us, and that was a fantastic experience.
Look, let's take a quick look at that. So it was such a heartwarming, sort of episode.
Well, Sam, I can see a lot going on behind me, and with the name Smart Energy Answers, you've obviously got the answers for energy. Tell us what's going on.
Okay, so Smart Energy Answers here has installed a solar system, a 3 kilowatt solar system, complete with an inverter and battery. That is to store the energy that the solar panels are going to produce there. And we're fantastic to be part of this effort.
It is an exciting time, mate, and we're excited to have you here as well. The family are going to be coming back very soon to have a look at what's being created here. I mean, this is a cosy home, but this is a home for them to live in and to be able to bridge the gap while they build their new space. We're excited to have you on board, buddy, and I think they're going to be elated with their zero energy bills.
Fantastic, fantastic. We're very glad to be part of this, and yeah, no, looking forward to it.
Mate, Sam did very well, didn't he? He did very well.
Amazing, Sam, superstar.
Look, absolutely, and I think everyone was just so impressed with how professional the team was, how clean and tidy the whole process is as well. I mean, I know a lot of people just assume that when you install solar power, your place is going to look like a work site. It's going to be an absolute nightmare, and they're not going to be able to meander through. But the reality is, it's a very clean operation installing solar, isn't it?
Oh, look, it is a complex electrical installation, Rosh, and that's what we're always trying to explain to our customers. Solar is not a plug and play appliance. Like you can buy a fridge online and it's delivered to your doorstep, and you pay for someone to carry it in and plug it, and then it's finished. There is a design that comes with it. The balance of system. There is a lot of safety requirements these days that you need to follow to make sure that if you have someone carrying an installation at your home, you can be responsible if someone falls off the roof because they're not following the right steps. And all of this comes at a cost. So every time that we have someone, customers saying, hey, I'm paying $1,000 cheaper for exactly the same components, we tell them pretty much always the same thing. And that's, okay, you have the same components, but what about the rest that comes with it? What about the design, the installation, the balance of system? What sort of swings they're following? Who is installing your system? Are they certified? Are they an approved retailer? So there are a lot of components that will contribute to the final price. And we know that cheapest is never the best solution in this industry.
No, completely. And I think that's starting to make more and more sense as well. I mean, the amount of people that are coming back, obviously, after installing, being one of the early adopters for solar power, or even in the last 2 or 3 years, and they're now starting to find issues with the system from 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And unfortunately, those solar power retailers are no longer in business. And some of the equipment they've installed, unfortunately, those manufacturers just really aren't mainstream or have the ability to be contacted in Australia. I mean, one thing I love about the industry is there is a lot of protection. There's a lot of authority. You've got Clean Energy Council, Smart Energy Council. You've got organisations like Solar Coders that manage mental health, and the people actually in the industry, the installs themselves. And then really, the industry has almost changed to a point now where you've got organisations such as yours that spend so much time, energy, and money and resources into ensuring that you deliver a solution that not only works exceptionally well now, but that's going to work in the future, and your organisation is still going to be around to answer those questions and help customers should something go wrong over the next few years.
Absolutely, Rosh. What you described before, we call them orphan systems, right? Systems that no one wants to touch because they don't want to be responsible for liabilities on someone else's work. And as part of the management, we actually have a service division. And we do repairs. We do inverter repairs and system repairs. So every week we receive at least a dozen of phone calls from people that need help. And when we do our inspections, 90% of the cases, unfortunately, it's a situation where we need to remove the existing system and restore the new system. So very rarely we can actually replace just the inverter. And the reason behind it is because in most cases, when there is an orphan system, it's because it's been installed incorrectly. There is wrong wiring. The wiring doesn't comply with new regulations. The panels, are cheap quality that have already deteriorated and they're not performing as they should. So, you rightly said, the system that you install today needs to work for long term. And as Smart Energy Answers, we only look for you do it once, you do it right, and we offer you the support that comes with such an important investment. So you can be sure that if you have an issue down the track, we have a dedicated support team that will assist you, and even a service team if you need. So.
Well, good stuff. And look, you know what? I think one of the, another one of the key questions that we get asked all the time is just around affordability. I mean, firstly, not especially after COVID. I mean, COVID hit a lot of hit all of us in the back pocket, in a very level. But one of the things everyone's really present to is, yes, they need to have solar power. Yes, it makes financial sense to replace buying electricity from the grid and with having your own generator on your roof. In this case, with having a solar power system. But how do you manage affordability? I mean, are there payment options that you guys offer?
Absolutely, Rosh. So we do have interest-free opportunities available. So as probably everyone knows, these days interest rates are very, very low, and we're able to secure some solid partnership with some finance partners specifically for the renewable industry. And as a result, we can make solar affordable for everyone out there. So these days, we don't accept anymore the objection from customers say, "Oh, I can't afford solar." Because the reality is, if you can afford your electricity bill, you can afford solar. And it can be as cheap as $10 a week to install solar and battery together and have a full integrated solution that will suit your needs and overall will replace your electricity bills for a lifetime.
Yeah, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, are there any, in New South Wales specifically, are there any, as well as the STCs, which is the federal, sort of point of sale discount of systems, are there any additional rebates or incentives being offered by the New South Wales government?
So, look, we do have the New South Wales Empowering Program available for a few retailers. However, to be honest with you, the incentive that New South Wales government is offering at this point is very little and almost insignificant compared to what South Australia has been doing, what Victoria has been doing. So I really would like the New South Wales government to step up, because what at the moment they're offering is an interest-free program for people who want to install solar and batteries. And guess what, New South Wales government? Everyone can offer that. We can offer that, and everyone can offer that. So you should really step up, New South Wales government, and offer some hard cash up front for people to massively adopt batteries, like South Australia did a few years back with about $6,000 available for early adopters. So that's what I would like to see from the New South Wales government.
I mean, that battery incentive that SA government was offering was absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, literally, South Australia's always been a state of early adopters with renewable energy technology. I mean, I think they've got the highest percentage of square roofs installed than any other state in the country. But then to see their government really, and I think the other side of it as well is, their government obviously supported the adoption of batteries, but they've also realised that batteries are there to support the grid. I mean, the problem is the infrastructure that we have in Australia is really, really old, and it will cost billions of dollars to replace. So surely it makes more sense to help help the cost of or help homeowners take on batteries by making that cost more affordable, which puts less pressure onto the actual grid itself.
Absolutely, and I think the South Australian government did it perfectly, because they adopted the two approaches of decentralized network. So they incentivize the homeowners to install their own batteries to support the grid with all the different VPPs offers available, and they also installed big batteries themselves with the one with Tesla being the signature project that paid off in within 2 years, and after that they even spent more money to make it bigger. So that's certainly a great effort from the South Australia government, and it's been recognised worldwide. So South Australia is really at the forefront of these technologies adoption, and certainly something to be praised.
Absolutely, no, I love it. And mate, just moving forward towards a zero carbon future, I mean, what would you say are small changes that anyone can make to move towards a zero carbon future?
Oh well. as we mentioned before, Rush, there is small things every day that we can do that would make a huge impact if we do them collectively. And things like adopting an EV, for example, that's certainly an amazing thing that everyone who is considering a new car should seriously look at. These days, EVs are simply about 10 to 20% extra compared to some other cars, and I think within 5 years we will see a massive adoption. In terms of what they can do in the household, certainly look at installing solar and batteries, looking at pool heating, which is synchronized, smart pool heating with the solar PV. If they have a pool, they could look at pool heating. Hot water pool heating.
Yep.
And that's another important thing. What else? LEDs. There's been already massive adoption. I think that's the way to go.
And they should definitely watch Renovate and Rebuild and get some tips as well, some design tips on how to get a high energy rating for your home.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I should have replied very simply that saying, yeah, just rewatch the show and you will see how it's done, right?
No, absolutely.
That's basically, yeah.
What is there a mission as such for Smart Energy Answers around sustainability? I mean, is there a program or something that you've launched to really sort of push sustainability?
Look, we do have what we call the Smart Energy Ambassador program. So we find that the best way to grow the business and fulfill our mission to empower families, households, and businesses with green energy is through word of mouth, and by offering an exceptional customer service and exceptional solution that outperform what we promise to customers. Okay, and with our SE Ambassador program, we reward our happy customers just for referring family and friends, and they can earn up to $2,000 if they, just pass the word about Smart Energy Answers, and it's had a huge success, to be honest. And it's Smart Energy Answers customers are the focus of everything, and this is one of the reasons why we just recently being awarded for the third year in a row, the 2022 award on product review as best solar retailer. So that's another amazing achievement that we got this year, which I'm really proud of. And that's a testament to our commitment to customers. So it's so vital these days to offer a delightful experience, and people would just refer to the family and friends, because ultimately that's the right thing to do. And solar, it doesn't cost anything. We just replace your existing expenses, which are electricity.
I think that's really the message that's starting to finally seep in, and people are starting to understand, is you don't really need to spend any more than what you currently spend on electricity. I mean, you have to just obviously go through the process. And, obviously the process that weirdos say, first and foremost, is, jump onto Energy Matters website, go to our solar quotes, put in your link, put in your information, press submit, and then we'll allocate the opportunity to a company like Daniel, like Smart Energy Answers, where you guys will then evaluate that customer as an individual. Look at their bill, look at the actual property itself, understand everything that makes that home unique, and then look at their budget. And I think you'd agree with me when I say it's not about whether or not this is, yes, the return on investment is definitely there on solar power, but it's about making it affordable for that home so they don't put themselves in a situation where they're spending more than they're spending right now.
Absolutely, Rosh. The most important thing is understanding the customer's needs and put forward something that is viable and ultimately has to provide benefits to our customers, right? So they're already paying for the electricity. If we can replace that, giving them security that at the end of the 5-year interest free, they own an asset, and they are basically the owner of the generation. that's a fantastic outcome for everyone. And let's not forget that these days there is also a lot of blackouts happening in different areas in New South Wales, South Australia, and the rest of Australia. And with a solution with batteries, you also have the extra benefit of blackout protection, which we know is can be very, very valuable in some areas.
Absolutely. Look, Daniel, thank you very much for your time today, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. I'm sure anyone who's listening or watching has really enjoyed understanding more about your organisation and getting those insights in the industry as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Rosh. Thanks for having me, and thanks to all the Energy Matters team.
Mate, good man. So just as we finish off, remember you can get up to 3 free solar quotes and a free energy bill comparison by visiting our website with the URL shown below. And please make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And obviously follow us if you can on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn to enjoy more of this type of content. Thanks once again, Daniel, and take care, everyone.
Thank you, guys. See you later.